Hey everyone, and welcome back to BMX News. This is a weekly BMX news show where I talk about everything that happened in the previous week within the world of BMX that I think you guys might care about. With that being said, let's jump right on into the news where I actually have a few highlights to talk about before we get into everything else. The first of those is Chris Moeller's 48-something video from S&M. This is highlighting his 31 days of riding. I'm not sure if it was just he wanted to ride every day for a month or what, but he's 48 years old and made this video that's over 9 minutes long. And regardless of being 48, there's some good stuff in here. And just the fact that he is almost 50 doing this stuff, riding street, literally almost the entire video is street riding, other than a few backyard ramp clips and some trail stuff. Speaking of trails, he's doing bar spins and 360s over decent sized real dirt jumps in this video. I think that's what got me the most hyped. I was like, holy crap, he's bar spinning that jump. Totally awesome. And it's just another example of you don't get old until you quit, because we have not found out yet how old people can be and still ride BMX, because the oldest guys doing it, the guys who are pioneers in the sport, are still doing it. Chris Moeller, Rick Moliterno, Rob Ridge is a good example. The Fids is over 50 years old, I'm pretty sure. If not, he's close, and he is still shredding. I just think it's super awesome, and I really wanted to highlight it because I know a lot of older guys watch this, and I just wanted to maybe motivate some people to get back on their bikes, because literally we're finding out year after year that it's never too late to pick your bike back up and go out there and have fun instead of sitting on the couch drinking beer like some of you probably are right now. After that is another cool thing from a company on a different note. This is Subrosa's limited edition Wild Child frames, where Trey Jones himself actually made blood splatter colorways on frames. There's 5 of them available, I'm pretty sure. By the time you're seeing this video, honestly, they're gone because they went up at noon today. So if you did get one, let me know in the comments down below, because I think it'd be super awesome if somebody that watches these videos ended up getting one of these 5 frames. And the thing that I think is so cool about this is that Trey Jones, pro rider for Subrosa, went out of his way and put the time in to do something for the company that he rides for, instead of just going out and filming a bike check, filming some clips, filming a video. Yes, he does have the luxury of living very close to Sparky's, but that was also his decision. Either way, he went to Sparky's, made these colorway frames for everyone to enjoy and 5 people to have. And it's pretty awesome because you don't see too many other pros in BMX doing things like this, or involving themselves directly with the company in this way, and just in a way that everyone can get stoked on. And I'm sure that the response to this is going to be crazy, so maybe we'll see it again. It'd be pretty cool if we saw this from like all of the people on Subrosa. They came to Sparky's and then did some sort of colorway on a frame or on their frame, and maybe made it part of a video or something, and then at the end of it they sold those frames to the public and whoever could get their hands on them. Could be a cool topic. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And with all of that being said, let's get into the sponsorship news for this week. The first thing I have here is Lewis Cunningham's Welcome to Federal video. Lewis is a UK rider who has been killing it on the new school grind street game for quite a while now. You've probably already heard of him. This Welcome to Federal video is no different. Tons of new school street riding type stuff, tons of grinds, tons of nose manual balance, and just overall it's a good watch for anyone who's into new school street riding. And the song from a UK rapper was actually not terrible, so take that for whatever it's worth to you. And after that, we've got this guy whose name I'm not going to insult by butchering it. Welcomed to We the People. There is a bike check in the link in the description below up on the We the People site, with a video at the very bottom of it that came from Dig earlier in the year, if you guys want to check it out. Also, now's a good time to say that everything that I've talked about and will talk about will be in the description below in the order that I talked about, if you guys want to click the links and check out anything that you hear in the video. That brings us into the contest and jam news from this week. The first thing here is a Vans BMX Pro Cup Germany Stop Tour course preview video from Kevin Peraza and Sergio Layos. There's 2 different course preview videos. The Kevin Peraza video is more of a strict course preview with some GoPro point of view shots mixed in that comes from our BMX, and then the Sergio Layos video actually comes from Vans, and this one has him in there talking about the course and some additions like an extension and a tombstone extension that they put on a quarter pipe, and just giving a few of his thoughts on the course while showing him actually riding it. After that, we've got a highlights video up from the DIY BMX Worlds 2019 stop number 2, which was at the FBM open house. This one is full of creative riding because they had to be creative riding literally a pile of just stuff. And this video was honestly very entertaining because of how creative everyone had to be, and just the riders in it were also very creative riders. And then after that, we've got a mini ramp contest highlights video from the Kessel festival in Stuttgart, followed by the whatever that first word is, Street Jam highlights video. And that brings us into the videos from this week. The first of which that I want to talk about is from Shawn Elf Walters, and it's his headlight section from when Ride BMX was still Ride BMX. This was one of the sections from headlights that impressed me the most, just because of the creative look that he had at spots and the way that he looked at spots that no one else would ever touch and figured out ways that he could ride them. And just the level of riding with how long he's been in BMX is super impressive, and I think that anyone who enjoys street riding in general could get behind this video and enjoy watching it. From there, I want to talk about Chase Hawk's section in Cult's It's Later Than You Think DVD. This section hyped me up so much. It's got all of the stuff that we expect to see and know and love from Chase Hawk, but also so much more in here. And I think my favorite part about what Cult's doing right now is the fact that they let people be who they are. They aren't trying to force some agenda of only this or only that, or you have to be this certain way. They let people be who they are, and then they promote it and put it in videos and accentuate it that way. And that's exactly how things should be, I think. And unless I'm totally missing something, or the wool is being pulled so far in front of everyone's eyes, I think we can all agree on that. And to get away from that tangent and back to the video real quick, let's talk about the fact that one of the opening clips in this video was a manual to sprocket 180 on a bank to fence, and there was skate park footage and there was pool footage, and it was just super awesome to see this well-rounded section. And overall, I think you guys can tell that I'm just super hyped about this video, and I think that if you're not one of the 35,000 people who have already watched it, you probably will be too when you do watch it. And then we have a Chris Childs Instagram compilation followed by an amazing video from Dan Smith. This one has mostly park riding in it, but it has a ton of stuff that you just don't see people do. The first one that got me super excited was the channel gap air to fakie. That's something that you just don't see people do, and this guy did it over a pretty big channel gap. Then after that, he did a foof to toothpick on a quarter pipe. That's not one that you see very many people do. He did a foof to foot jam on a double coping spine, and then the last clip is a super gnarly alley-oop ice pick on a back rail where he's traveling like 8 to 10 feet to get to the rail, and then alley-ooping another 4 or 5 feet to get back into the other quarter pipe. This video is just one, if you're into park riding and tech riding at all whatsoever, you need to watch this video, and I'm kind of bummed that I put it last on the list to watch and talk about. The only product related news to talk about this week, other than Trey Jones' custom colorway on his signature Wild Child frame that we talked about earlier, is a really quick 25-second promo video from Eclat for their Decoder tire. And after that, we can talk about the interviews type stuff that happened last week. The first is one that probably a lot of you are going to be psyched about because you're a little bit older, and that is a Palaver podcast with Chris Stauffer. That means Chris Doyle, Chris Stauffer talking together in a podcast. It was actually a really good listen, and towards the end of it, he gets pretty open and honest about some things that I think a lot of people can probably relate to. So if If you guys want to check that one out, like I said before, links in the description below. And then we had another Impramatur BMX podcast, this time with Hirsch talking about a ton of different BMX business aspects. And they talk a lot about influences and influence in the early years of BMX. And Rich talks about Adam LZ and Stranger, and another owner to Stranger who left around the same time as that, which was kind of an explanation for some of the people that left Stranger and just his thoughts on having Adam LZ, and just a lot of different stuff that you really would have never heard unless you listened to this podcast. I definitely think this is a good one for anyone who wants a little bit of insight into the business side of things and just views in general from the points of view of two guys who work directly in the BMX industry on the parts and team side of things. And then we had another one that a lot of you are probably going to be psyched on in the form of a Snakebite BMX podcast with Casey Badger. And that's going to wrap up this week's news video. If you guys had a favorite story or anything that I talked about, let me know in the comments down below. If you missed last week's video, check it out in the playlist. It's going to pop up somewhere right in here. If you're new, subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow, hopefully, for another video. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.